There's a quote that says, "God gave us hope and sleep as compensation for all the troubles of life." And yet, ironically, sleep, the simplest gift we've been given, has become the one thing we neglect the most. We glorify productivity. We admire the student who burns a midnight oil, the CEO who boasts about sleeping only 4 hours a night, the culture that equates exhaustion with achievement. We believe success belongs to those who can sacrifice the most, even if what they sacrifice is their own rest. But if time is the fairest thing we all share, 24 hours a day, then why do some people seem sharper, calmer, more alive than others? Maybe the secret isn't in how hard we work, but in how deeply we rest. In Why We Sleep, neuroscientist and sleep expert Matthew Walker takes us on a breathtaking scientific journey to answer a question that seems so obvious, yet so misunderstood. Why do we sleep? After more than 2 decades of research, his conclusion is clear. Sleep is not a luxury. It is a foundation. This book, praised by Bill Gates as one of the most important books you'll ever read, has been translated into over 30 languages, and it may just be the wake-up call our restless world needs. Walker doesn't write like a doctor giving a lecture. He writes like a storyteller, revealing the hidden symphony that plays inside our brains every night. At the heart of this symphony lies a tiny structure called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, our internal clock. It governs when we feel sleepy and when we feel alert, controlled by the hormone melatonin, the body's natural timekeeper. Meanwhile, a chemical called adenosine builds up the longer we stay awake, creating the pressure to sleep. Caffeine? It's simply a thief. It blocks adenosine, tricks your brain into feeling alert, and then leaves you twice as exhausted once its effects wear off. Walker reminds us that we can't fight sleep. Like gravity, it always wins. And when we try to cheat it, our bodies and minds quietly begin to fall apart. Through his colleague Dr. David Dingus's experiments, Walker shows what happens when people sleep less than they should. One group sleeps 8 hours, another 6, another 4, and one stays awake for days. The results? Those who slept only 6 hours a night for 10 days performed as badly as those who had been awake for 24 hours straight. Their focus collapsed, reaction time worsened by 400%. And the worst part? They didn't even realize they were impaired. Their brains had adapted to dysfunction. Sleep deprivation, Walker reveals, is not just about feeling tired. It's about losing control. When we lack sleep, the amygdala, the brain's emotion center, becomes overactive, while the prefrontal cortex, the rational part, shuts down. That's why you feel more irritable, anxious, or impulsive after a sleepless night. Sleep, he says, is the world's most natural emotional therapy. Physically, the damage is even more alarming. Sleeping less than 6 hours a night increases your risk of heart disease and stroke by over 200%, weakens your immune system, and accelerates the buildup of beta amyloid, the protein linked to Alzheimer's disease. In short, sleep loss is a slow suicide, one we rarely notice until it's too late. Walker also challenges one of society's biggest myths, that early risers are superior. In truth, about 40% of people are morning types, 30% are night owls, and the rest fall somewhere in between. It's not laziness or discipline, it's biology. Forcing night owls to wake early is like asking someone to live in a different time zone every single day. And then there's the magic of dreams. During the REM phase, when our eyes dart beneath our eyelids, the brain performs a kind of emotional surgery. It replays our memories, processes pain, and reshapes trauma into wisdom. Dreaming, Walker says, is the mind's way of healing itself. To cut short your sleep is to cut short your healing. Finally, he warns us about modern enemies of sleep, blue light alcohol, and alarm clocks. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin by up to 23%, delaying sleep. Alcohol may make you drowsy, but it shatters REM sleep, robbing your brain of true rest. Even the sound of an alarm jolts your heart into panic, a small shock repeated hundreds of times a year. At its core, Why We Sleep is more than science. It's a wake-up call to a world that confuses exhaustion with success. Walker doesn't want us to sleep more. He wants us to respect sleep as a sacred rhythm of life. His advice is simple yet profound. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Avoid bright screens an hour before bed. Choose a book instead of phone. Keep your room cool, dark, and quiet. Around 18 degrees Celsius is ideal. Cut caffeine and alcohol after afternoon hours. And create a short wind-down ritual before bed. Breathe, stretch, be still. Because sleep is not lost time. It's recovery time. It's when your body repairs, your mind organizes, and your soul resets. Every good night's sleep is a small rebirth, a chance to wake up as a clearer, kinder version of yourself. Perhaps the greatest truth Walker teaches us is this: sleep is not a sign of weakness. It is a mark of wisdom. Those who sleep well do not waste time. They invest it. They live longer, think sharper, and love deeper. So tonight, before you reach for that extra cup of coffee or scroll through your phone one last time, stop, turn off the lights, let go, and let sleep do what it was designed to do: heal you quietly, completely, and without asking for anything in return. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is close your eyes,